Hello everyone and welcome back to Turn 7. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 270 model and where it sits within the Caterham range. We also have a special guest coming along to join us today who's going to be comparing the 270 to some of its predecessors dating back over time. And as a special feature we're going to be taking a look at the importance of geometry.
The 270 joined the range in 2016 when Caterham rebranded their model range, and suddenly all their models were defined by the power output of the engines. Now it doesn't mean this is 270 horsepower, it isn't. It's actually more of a crude power to weight ratio figure, or shall I say a slightly optimistic power to weight ratio figure. So this 270 actually has 135 brake horsepower. It will do 0 to 60 in a little under 6 seconds, and it actually produces one of the nicest, smoothest power deliveries on the Caterham range. And it's plenty for enjoying as a nice road car. It will accelerate beautifully from low to mid revs. Here we are, I'm doing 55 miles an hour in 5th gear at 2000 RPM, and if I put my foot down it will accelerate. But if I want it to really get exciting, as I turn into this nice left-hander, we're going to change down a couple of gears and use some of the revs. Now this is an S configuration car. They came in both S and R configurations. The S is a fabulous road car. It's soft, it's refined, it's comfortable, and in this configuration it weighs about 550 kilos. So where does that stack up on our power to weight ratio board? Let's go and have a look.
So when we look at it here on our board, the 270S with 135 brake horsepower and weighing in at 550 kilos is 245 brake horsepower per tonne. But the R model, the more stripped out version, shaves about 15 kilos out of the car, and you can see how that loss of weight brings forward the power to weight ratio per tonne, so that's at 252 brake horsepower. Now there are actually a couple of prequel additions to the 270, just dating back over time. As per all Caterhams, they stand the test of time so well, which means that we do have these older generation cars still available in the market. On my left here is the previous version of the Sigma engine, which has a fixed cam and is 125 brake horsepower. On my right we have the prequel to that, which is the 1.6 litre K series, and again has 120 horsepower. Now these two cars are Roadsports, so they're very much the equivalent of the S edition from today's range. But the big question really is, how different are they? Well, to help answer that question, I've invited back a guest. So can I please introduce Formula One commentating legend, Ben Edwards.
Thank you, Carl.
Hi, Ben.
Lovely to be back. Really enjoyable.
Thank you. Thanks for coming back and playing with us.
No, great.
So just as you're such a good motoring journalist and you're so good at all this, and obviously you enjoyed playing Caterhams with us last year.
Indeed.
I wondered if you'd be prepared to back-to-back these cars with us.
Yeah.
You drove the 270 with us last year when we did our wheel and tyre combination.
Yep.
So hopefully that's still fairly fresh in your mind. But yeah, I really just want your thoughts on how different they are in the real world.
Okay, no, I'm really looking forward to it. It'd be lovely to get out on both of these cars. Thank you.
Great. Well, let's start with the Roadsport.
Okay.
Now, while Ben's out reminding himself what it's like to drive a 270, I thought I'd have a quick chat about the Roadsport 125 that he's about to go out in. The 125 was the earlier version of the Sigma engine, so it's a fixed cam. And the easiest way to see whether or not your engine is a variable cam Sigma or a fixed cam Sigma is by the two lobes that you see here at the front of the engine. If it has them, it's a VCT. If it doesn't, it isn't. The variable cams offer just a little bit more power. Really, they were introduced by Ford to cut down on emissions, but Caterham used that as a great excuse to just increase the power of their range ever so slightly, but it is only very subtle. So as you can see, the Roadsport 125 that Ben's going out in now is only here at 227 brake per tonne. So it's less than 20 brake per tonne behind the 270. You can see the gap there to the 140 brake horsepower version. So we're starting to develop a pattern here of the area in which the Sigma engine occupies the Caterham range.
Right then, all ready to go in the 125 Roadsport, and yeah, I got in board, and I'm sitting a little higher. It hasn't got the low floor, according to Callum, that the 270 had, but that's fine. It's still a a good sitting position, no problem. And actually, dashboard's very similar, hasn't quite got the carbon fibre look, but the dashboard is very, very similarly laid out. So let's just see how it feels as we take it out. Always a lovely opportunity to get back out on the road in the Caterham. Nice stability in this car, actually. Feels controllable. Slightly different gearbox. It's a lovely feel. You just need to not rush it too much. So we're in 4th gear at the moment. Just cruising along. Got a little bit of bumpy road here, but it's got nice control. The suspension is perfect on the road, to be honest. It's really nice. A car that might be designed for the track would be a lot stiffer, and that can sometimes be difficult on the road. You feel the road in a different way in a Caterham anyway, but this is lovely. The power is good on this. It is fairly consistent all the way up. It doesn't sort of suddenly pick up more with more revs. It's just a controlled acceleration. So this is a very enjoyable car. It's perfect on the road, really. It's got that nice amount of power. It's not crazy power. It's not like, oh, but it's accelerating smoothly, controllably, braking smoothly. The balance feels lovely. I'm not pushing it hard, but it's very even. The steering is very controlled. Feels in great shape.
So Ben, what do you think of the Roadsport 125?
That was really nice to drive, actually. I really enjoyed it. Not hugely different to what we've been out in. It has lovely smooth power all the way through.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, it's a slightly heavier gearbox, but nice. Once you know, it's just I was being too light with it initially.
Of course, because the 270 has the Mazda gearbox. This is the older gen, so this is the Ford Type 9 gearbox, which Caterham's just used for decades. I think these went out of production in 2013 or something, and Caterham changed to Mazda. I quite like these. I like the positivity of them when you select gears.
Absolutely, you just need to get used to it. You need to be a bit more solid with your gear change,
Yeah.
and then it's fine. It's a lovely feel. You can really feel where you are at with it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I got it wrong a couple of times.
No, I'm sure it's absolutely fine. No, those Mazda gearboxes are really snickety, aren't they?
are.
Just nice. But did you feel any significant difference in power?
Well, no, I mean, really, it's not quite as powerful as the 270, but it's still got a lovely power right from early revs, right the way through, very smooth, consistent. It doesn't then pick up any more later on. But it's a very consistent power.
Yeah, they are. They're beautifully smooth in their power delivery, these. Where the 270 with the variable cam engine, I find it just, when you get over a certain RPM, there's just that extra little surge in power.
There's a little bit more, yeah.
And they do have an extra 10 horsepower. It's not significant, but there is a little bit of
It felt, on road, this feels, perfectly plenty of power there to enjoy, I have to say, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. For me, I feel like these are the absolute pinnacle entry-level Caterham. If you just want a nice road car, they do that job so well.
Yeah, it does work well. I agree with that totally, yeah.
Good. Ready to try K-Series?
Oh yeah, let's go.
Cool. So while Ben gets himself all set up and ready to go out in our K-Series, I thought we'd compare that to see where that sits on our board. And as usual, the K-Series car is just much lighter. So even though it's 120 horsepower compared to the 125 and 135 of before, it very much sits in between them on its power to weight ratio, weighing in at just 500 kilograms. Let's see what he thinks of it.
Right now, I'm getting ready to go out in the K-Series. It's an older design car, and yet here I am sitting in it. Feels very familiar with what I've just been out in, to be honest. Well, let's just go up, see how it feels on the way out. So yeah, just getting a feel for the K-Series. It feels pretty good. So suspension is maybe just a tiny bit. No, I don't think it's much stiffer. Feels very similar. Interesting, you turn it, it feels a little bit less stable. It's a lovely engine still. It's got that lovely sound to it, and just picks up and then really begins to go that you can feel a bit more power as you go up towards the higher revs. You don't get the same pull initially, You don't have the same torque, but it then pulls nicely as the revs go up. And actually its top end power is still very, very good. It's impressive. There's definitely a bit of a feel to the car though. When you turn left, it's a little bit light on the rear.
So Ben, what did you think of the K-Series?
Yeah, it was good, mate. And thanks for the hat, by the way. It's a good idea when it's a bit cool out here.
You're welcome.
It's
That's
lovely.
fine.
I really enjoyed it actually. The K-Series, when you're accelerating, you don't get that initial burst.
Yeah.
But as you pick up the throttle and pick up the revs, then it starts to soar away, and it makes a lovely noise. It's familiar to me, the old K-Series. It's really enjoyable.
Yeah, no, I have to say I'm a proper sucker for a K-Series engine. I just love how they're not quite as refined as the Ford engines. They don't have that low down and mid-range torque, but just something about that classic twin cam engine, you know, it gets over 4,500, 5,000 RPM and the engine note totally changes, it snarls at you and then they just go.
And then it really takes off. It's got good power at the top end. It has got good
power, hasn't it?
Yeah, and I really enjoyed that. It has a lovely feel to it, yeah.
Did the ride feel any different? And theoretically, the dampers are all the same, but they're a slightly different generation as Caterham just developed them.
Yeah, it was hard to tell really. It may be just a little bit stiffer, but what I did notice was it was a bit more sensitive to the steering.
We haven't set up this car. We haven't done any geometry on it yet, and that's something that we do with all the cars that we have when we sell, but they're often, you know, post sales.
Okay, so we can actually check the setup of the wheels.
Yeah, much like you could with any race car. So, well, let's go and pop it on our I-line system, and we'll have a look at it, and we'll see if it's out.
So, Callum, explain to me what's going on here.
So this is our I-line system. It's effectively a very sophisticated camera system which we attach to each of the four wheels, which will give us a live readout of exactly which direction all the wheels are pointing in, how much caster and camber are on each of the wheels. So it gives us an absolute perfect representation of where the cars are in their setup.
Wow, it's a bit different to the old days when I used to mechanic on Formula Fords, and I've still got an old Formula Ford, and it would all be done very manually with,
pieces of string.
Yeah, pieces of string.
I
would always wrap a piece of string around it. Yeah, do the measurements. This is very different, but it looks amazing.
It is. Yeah, technology's come on a little bit.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean you can do this at home with pieces of string, but that's quite an art, and for a lot of people, that's not the easiest thing to do.
This looks great.
So, you know, setup is so important with these cars. Generally, we recommend to everybody that we do this at each of their services, but because it does go out over time.
Yeah, I can imagine. Right, well, let me help. So, what are you up to now then?
So I'm just cracking off the locking nuts for each of the track rod ends.
Right.
And what we're going to do is we're just going to adjust this live while it's still on our I-line system and track it in. As a road car, I would generally run this at about 1 millimetre of toe in across the front axle, so maybe half a mil per each front wheel.
Okay.
So that's where I'm going to set it to now.
Which is less than it's got at the moment. It's got loads of toe in.
So at the moment, according to our system, it's got 3.2 mil on one side and 3.7 mil on the other.
That's a lot, isn't it?
It's a lot
of toe in.
It's a lot. It's not right at all.
It makes you slow in a straight line.
It does. So as we rotate the steering arm here, you'll just see that those numbers will start to drop. There we go. So we're back into the green already.
Oh yeah.
And we're going down to 0.5 of a mil. That's where we want to be. Now these are incredibly sensitive.
0.6 at the moment.
0.6, 0.5. There we go.
There's tiny
amounts.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So we're spot on now.
Yeah.
So we're 0.5. Yeah. And you see what a palaver it is to get it exactly right. It's not very easy. But this will now give it a stable front end.
Okay.
Just towing in ever so slightly. Race cars, I'd tow them out ever so slightly.
Sometimes, yes.
And you know, if you want a fast road approach, then you'd have them as close to parallel as possible. The thing is, if it's towing out, it will turn into corners brilliantly.
It will.
But if you're travelling down a bumpy country lane,
I agree.
It will pull you left and right.
It will, yeah. I think towing's better on road.
Towing is better on road.
Yeah.
Towing is better on road.
So let's check out the K with the revised front wheel alignment that Callum has done so cleverly. It's going to give it a bit of a wobble. Yeah, it feels a bit more stable now to me. We'll see in the corners how it reacts. It's certainly not flicking around a bit like it was before. Even in a straight line, it was tending to flick around just a touch. It's definitely got that when you're on the bumps a little bit, whereas before it was pulling one way or the other a touch. It seems more stable now. That's nice. It's got good control through these corners. I'm pushing quite hard there, but it's controlling well. Surprising actually how stable it is now. Yeah, there's no doubt. Stability in a straight line. It's got nice sensitive steering, but it's not making me feel anxious now. It's got lovely turn, and yes, it's certainly not an understeery car, but it's not feeling as though it's suddenly going to slide the rear. It feels stable, control, feels good.
So how was that?
That was good. Yeah, that was fun. I really enjoyed that. Actually, had a nice clear run, and the car felt very stable in a straight line. Absolutely. And now, because it made me a bit anxious before when I would turn left and feel a bit oversteer. Now it's different. It's still quite. It's one of these cars that you have to be quite sensitive on the steering. You don't need to, but actually it's very stable.
Yeah.
Once I was going through the left-handers and right-handers, very stable. It felt really fun. I really enjoyed it.
Good. So you noticed a significant difference, even though we just changed the tracking just a tiny bit.
Yeah, we changed it a little bit. It's given me much more confidence with the car.
Awesome. Brill. Well, hence
you.
the importance of doing your geometry.
That's good stuff.
So I've got to ask you, just because I know the viewers are going to want to know, you've now driven 270S,
Yes.
Roadsport 125,
Yes.
and the K Series 1.6 120.
Yes.
Which one do you like the most?
You always ask me which one I like best, and I like them all.
Well, it's like an F1 commentary. They always say, who's going to win the next Grand Prix? Awful question.
I know, it
but-
is a big question.
But I've got to ask.
They all have slightly different, bits and pieces that are such fun. It's difficult to say, to be honest.
Yeah, that's okay.
Which one is the best one, because I enjoyed all three, honestly. I'm not sure I can choose. Sorry to be boring.
Well, that's great.
But they all have slightly different benefits.
But that's great, and I like the answer to that question, because actually there's quite a big price difference from a very new low mileage 270S to an older K Series 120, and they're not terribly different,
It's
are
not
they?
hugely different, and I did enjoy this K Series. And yes, you haven't got that initial torque power that maybe some people want at lower revs, but I like that actually, because it kind of gives you that space. When you're on roads, you've always got to be see where you've got space, but once you've got it, you've got to rev it and take off. And that's I did really enjoy this. And the handling on this as well. Once you change the front end a little bit, gave me more confidence. So I did thoroughly enjoy this. Yeah.
Nice, good. Thanks. Well, thanks very much for coming out to play with us again today.
Great to see you, Callum.
And thank you for watching. I hope, again, you found Ben's insight helpful. And hey, enjoy your cars. Until next time, thanks very much.